This is Oats and Barley in Saudi Arabia with Hall of Fame promoter Frank Warren, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on DAZN. Frank, how are you, sir?
I'm good, young man. How are you? A bit hot, but I'm okay.
It's been a fun fight week, hasn't it?
It has, but we're getting down to the serious now.
We are. They've all weighed in.
Well, they weighed in, and they're obviously doing the show weight tonight. But if you look at yesterday, those face-offs, every one of them was very, very intense. Nobody wanted to break off, and it'll be even more. I think there'll be much more tension tonight, no doubt about that. And tomorrow we've got the big fights, great fights.
I suppose firstly, before I speak to you a little bit about the conditioning of the fighters, which we would have seen earlier at the proper weigh-in, Ammo Williams yesterday, proper I didn't know if he was going to swing for him in that face-off or he's up for it.
Well, he should be. He's getting well paid. But having said that, Hamza, not even a flinch or anything. You know, cool as a cucumber.
He was, wasn't he, actually?
He's captain material.
Yes, that is indeed. I tell you what, all the fighters around there, they all seem very calm, relaxed. I mean, we spend a lot of time in fighters in this moment, but a lot of them, a big opportunity, a big sort of card and everything. They all seem like the pressure's not getting to them, Frank.
Well, look, first of all, they're in a great place, all of them. They're on a big stage, which they all want. They're all very confident fighters. They all believe in themselves. They were picked for a reason, because we feel that they will be able to do the job for themselves and certainly for Queensberry. And they've got everything to gain from this. I mean, you know, this is a real career-changing moment for all of them, as winners and losers.
I would assume that you expect the most of your captain, Hamza, that's why you picked him tomorrow, but is there anyone that you think, they have a chance of stealing the show and sort of making a real statement?
I've got to tell you, and I know it's not sitting on the fence, it's not trying to prefer one over the other. Every one of these fights are quality fights.
Yeah, they are.
Every one of them. And it's very difficult, we talked about it in the restaurant the other day, it's very difficult to say this one's going to be better than that one, because some of them are so evenly matched, and some of the styles are such a blend that you know you're going to get a war out of them.
I have to say, Nick Ball's quickly turning into a lot of people's favourite fighters. He's got a tough test on his hand, an opportunity to become world
champion. He's certainly
champion.
one of mine, that's for sure. You know, and we've been believing in him from the beginning. And he is in some ways, it's a shame and it's sad that he's not going into this fight as a unification. But you know what? He's a good quality fighter. He's he's got great self-belief. You know, his trainer and manager Paul Stevenson's done a great job with him and the other fighters in that Liverpool stable of boxers. And for me, he's a joy to promote. Never complains. You know, who am I fighting? Never, I don't want to fight this guy. You know, just put him in front of me and I'll go to work.
Tyson Fury versus Oleksandr Usyk. We understand the rematch clause has been evoked. His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh has come out and announced on TalkSport. I suppose just firstly for you, December is the date.
Yeah.
October a little bit too soon for both. We know
I said to you yesterday, it's a blessing in disguise because these guys were in an epic, tremendous battle. I mean, they gave everything. I mean, that was. And also, they've been in training camp because of the postponement for over 6 months. So it takes a lot out of your body when you're doing that. You know, 3-week break in between, and then getting back into it again. That's tough. And from the fight that they had, that epic fight, the biggest fight, heavyweight fight of the 21st century, for them to do what they did and show what they did in the ring, the both of them, because Tyson that 9th round was that much away from the referee, I think, jumping in, but he came through it and got over it. And the same with Alexandrov. When Tyson was catching him with those uppercuts, the end of that round, when he went back to the end of that round, I generally thought the next round it'd be all over. And it showed you what they're all about. But it took a lot out of them, and they need that bit of extra time. One, to switch off from boxing.
Yeah.
Recharge the batteries, reset the minds, and then move on for the fight.
Well, you mentioned just that. Tyson was very gracious in his post-fight press conference and very humble. Have you spoke to him since then? Obviously, it's the first time he's lost in his career. How is he sort of feeling?
I spoke to him when he got back to just see how he was. Obviously, I spoke to him after the fight and when he got back, and he was very philosophical about it, but he was very disappointed. You know, he felt he did enough, and he was being told that he'd done enough to win, but that's irrelevant. It's done. It was a very close fight. Everybody's got an opinion about it, and that's their opinion. The fact of the matter is, they both showed what they're all about in that ring. They both showed what they're about, Usyk got his hand put up at the end, and it's all for Tyson to in the next fight to change that round.
What's weird with some of the media is they sort of question the fire and the heart and everything, but him picking this rematch again so soon, it would prove more than ever, right?
That is what I was taking exception to. The result is the result. And it was a close fight, so you get that. I'm not saying this is a disgraceful. No one's saying that. No one's complaining about the result. What I was complaining about, and was that certain people were saying that this guy, you know, one in particular was saying that when it comes down to adversity, he's now got to show what he's all about. Didn't they see the fights that he had with Dubai? Didn't they see him go to Germany? Didn't they see the third fight where he got off the floor twice? Haven't they heard about or his well-publicised fight against all these problems in the past? You know, he's being there. He doesn't deserve that. They should be praised, both those boxers, for the epic battle that they participated in and what they did. That is, only boxers can do that. That's the only sport where you see people leave everything there. When I mean leveling, you're not a race where you're out of breath and you can run again the next week, or a tennis tournament where you can play in the next tournament, or a golf match the following week,
all
or
goes
a
out in
football
the
match.
ring.
You're getting punched. You're digging deep to your boots. You're out on your feet. How many sportsmen do that? Any sportsman. They are the gladiators of the gladiators. That's what they are. And when people are in an epic fight, a great fight, it takes two fighters to make that happen. Not one fighter, two fighters. And that's why I got a little bit upset. But you know what? It's gone. It's done and dusted. We move on to the December the 21st, and that, I'm telling you, will be a bigger, better, and an epic fight again.
I actually think you're valid because, like you say, it was a close fight, and they both left it all, and he carried on in the 10th.
I mean,
right?
Good friends of mine thought that Usyk won it. Who I respect.
Nothing wrong with that, right?
Thomas Howes, who I respect, made it a draw. Quite a few Americans actually made it a draw, but that's irrelevant. Yeah, it's a close fight, and that's it.
Lastly from me, I don't want to finish on a bad note, but I've got to ask you, Anthony Yarde, we believe that he's pulling out of the bids for the
Well, I don't know whether he is or he isn't. We will see. He's been given 72 hours, that was yesterday, so it's 48 hours now, isn't it? Yeah, to decide what he wants to do. It'll be his choice, and it'd be crazy to pull out, because for me, you know, this thing's all about money, which is ridiculous, and a purse bid, you find out your true value, because it's an open market and anybody can bid.
Am I being naive in thinking after the Kovalev fight and everything, I mean, it seems like the public reception is that you guys have done quite a good job and always fought for Yarde.
Look, I've not had one bad word with him, not one, ever. And I don't want to have a bad word, never will. I respect him as an athlete, I respect him as a person, I respect him what he's done for his family, all those things. Unfortunately, you know, we are where we are. There is a difference of opinion as regarding where we are contractually. That'll get sorted out because no one's talking, so that'll get sorted out. And his advice that he's being given at the moment is very disappointing, because the advice is crap advice to him. And in time, that penny will drop and he will see that. But he's a loyal guy. He's loyal to his team, and I respect that. But for me, it's a little bit disappointed.
All right, Frank, an absolute pleasure as always.
Neil,
Thank you for your time. Cheers, mate.